ONIC Esports isn't just a team, it's a standard. In every era of Mobile Legends Bang Bang, when the meta shifts and pressure peaks, ONIC somehow stays ahead of the curve. From disciplined drafts to ice-cold execution, they've built a reputation as one of the most feared and respected organizations in MLBB history. Whether it's regional dominance or world stage consistency, ONIC's name alone signals excellence, preparation, and a deep understanding of how Championship MLBB is truly played. Welcome back to Mobile Legends News. If you're a newer MLBB fan, chances are you already know the name ONIC. You've seen the highlights, the trophies, and the signature yellow jerseys dominating tournament stages. But what many fans don't fully understand is why ONIC keeps winning, or how they sustained relevance throughout multiple metas, patches, and generations of players. Today on Mobile Legends News, we're breaking down how ONIC evolved into one of MLBB's most dominant teams and what truly separates them from the rest. You see, here's the challenge with understanding ONIC Esports. Dominance can look effortless when you're only watching the end result. Newer fans often see ONIC lifting trophies, outdrafting opponents, or winning seamlessly clean games and assuming it's just raw talent or star power. But that surface-level view misses the deeper story. The systems, philosophy, and long-term planning that turned ONIC into a powerhouse across multiple competitive cycles. One major issue is that modern MLBB esports moves fast. Rosters change, metas evolve, and new teams rise quickly through viral moments or short-term success. Because of this, many fans associate dominance with brief peaks rather than sustained excellence. ONIC challenges that idea completely. Their success isn't tied to a single patch, a single hero pool, or even a single generation of players. Instead, it's built on adaptability and structure, two things that don't always show up on highlight reels. Another problem is that ONIC's playstyle often looks simple to casual viewers. Clean rotations, controlled objectives, and disciplined team fights don't always create flashy clips, but they do win championships. This leads to a misunderstanding where fans underrate how difficult it actually is to execute ONIC's style consistently, especially on the bigger stages under pressure. In reality, that simplicity is the result of deep preparation, trust between players, and a strong coaching system aligned with official competitive standards. And finally, newer fans may not realize how influential ONIC has been in shaping regional and international MLBB trends. From prioritizing macro over reckless skirmishes to proving that disciplined early game control can dictate entire series, ONIC can repeatedly set benchmarks that other teams try and often fail to replicate. Without understanding this context, it's easy to admire ONIC's wins without appreciating the strategic foundation behind all of them. With that out of the way, let's really dive in. Because ONIC Esports' journey isn't just another esports success story. It's more like watching a team slowly unlock every talent emblem in the game until they've maxed out while everyone else is still grinding. ONIC didn't spawn into the MLBB scene as a super team. They entered back in 2018 with ambition, structure, and a clear vision, at a time when the competitive landscape was still rapidly forming. While some teams relied on raw mechanics or temporary star power, ONIC approached MLBB like a long-term ranked grind. Learn the meta, refine execution, and improve every single season. By 2019, ONIC had already sent a message to the region by winning MPL Indonesia Season 3. This wasn't a lucky run or a patch abuse moment. It was proof that their approach worked. Think of it like a jungler who doesn't invade recklessly, but somehow still ends up 3 levels ahead. It's efficient, calculated, and frustrating for opponents. That first MPL title set the tone for everything that followed, because ONIC never stopped evolving after that win. Instead of protecting a single championship roster at all costs, the organization doubled down on development, synergy, and adaptability. And as the years progressed, ONIC Indonesia became synonymous with consistency. Between 2021 and 2025, they didn't just stay relevant. they dominated. By the time MPL Indonesia reached its later seasons, ONIC had collected 7 MPL Indonesia titles, more than any other organization in the league. In a region widely considered one of the most competitive in the world, that level of sustained success is almost unreal. It's like hitting mythical glory every season while the rank system keeps getting harder. Meta changes, hero reworks, new patches, none of it knocked ONIC off course. What made this even more impressive was how calm their gameplay looked. ONIC wasn't winning through chaos. They weren't coin-flipping teamfights or relying on miracle comebacks. Their games often felt controlled from minute 1, with clean rotations, disciplined objective setups, and drafts that always seemed one step ahead. To casual viewers, it sometimes looked simple, but any experienced player knows simplicity at that level is actual mastery. That's the difference between spamming skills and knowing exactly when to press them. ONIC's dominance didn't stop at domestic success either. Internationally, they proved their formula worked against the best. Their mid-season cup victories, especially the MSC 2023 Championship, reinforced ONIC's reputation as a team that shows up when the stakes are highest. They weren't just beating regional rivals, they were dismantling champions from other top regions with confidence and composure. In MLBB terms, this was like securing Lord with full vision control while the enemy team watches helplessly, knowing they're already outplayed. Then came one of the most important chapters in ONIC's story: expansion to the Philippines. If Indonesia is a jungle full of elite predators, the Philippines is where every fight turns into a mechanical brawl. ONIC entering the PH scene wasn't guaranteed success. In fact, many organizations struggle when crossing regions due to different playstyles and cultural adjustments. But ONIC Pilipinas didn't just adapt, they thrived. Their roster blended aggression with discipline, and by 2024, they achieved the ultimate goal of winning the M6 World Championship. That M6 victory was historic. ONIC PH defeated Team Liquid Indonesia in a dramatic best-of-7 series, extending the Philippines' legendary reign in the M Series while cementing ONIC as a truly global organization. Kelra's MVP performance highlighted ONIC's ability to develop and empower star players without sacrificing team identity. It was the perfect example of ONIC's philosophy in action. Trust the system, trust the players, and execute under pressure. What's even scarier for everyone else is that ONIC didn't slow down after that. In 2025, ONIC PH continued collecting international trophies, including the Snapdragon Pro Series Mobile Masters MLBB title. They proved that their success wasn't a one-tournament miracle, but the result of a repeatable winning structure. Meanwhile, ONIC Indonesia stayed competitive at the top level, qualifying once again for MLBB's biggest global stages, including M7. That kind of dual region dominance is rare in esports, let alone in a game as fast evolving as MLBB. But here's the defining truth behind ONIC Esports dominance, and this is the moment everything clicks. ONIC doesn't win because they're always the flashiest team, or because they magically get lucky metas. ONIC wins because they understand MLBB at its deepest level, and they build everything around that understanding. Their greatest weapon isn't a single superstar or a broken hero pick. It's their system. ONIC's success starts with talent development. They don't just recruit players who can outplay lanes. They develop players who understand why they're winning lanes. Every ONIC roster across Indonesia and the Philippines shows the same traits: discipline, patience, and confidence in macro decisions. You rarely see ONIC panic. Even when they're behind, their movements stay clean. That's not instinct. That's training. That's coaching. That's repetition under pressure until smart decisions become automatic. Then there's macro play, where ONIC truly separates themselves from the rest. While other teams chase kills, ONIC chases control. They time objectives perfectly, trade towers intelligently, and know when a fight is worth taking and when it's just bait. Watching ONIC feels like watching a chess grandmaster playing speed chess. Every move has intention, and by the time opponents realize they're trapped, the map is already gone. This is why ONIC often looks boring when winning, because clean MLBB doesn't need chaos. But the real reason ONIC stays on top is adaptability. Patch changes don't scare them, new heroes don't throw them off, and in fact, ONIC reads metas early, adjusts drafts quickly, and builds strategies that last longer than just one tournament. They don't overcommit to trends, they refine them. This is why ONIC can dominate across seasons, regions, and even different competitive environments. That's the climax of ONIC's story. When talent, macro, and adaptability combine, dominance stops being temporary. It becomes sustainable. And that's why ONIC isn't just winning right now. They're built to keep winning. ONIC Esports stands as a cornerstone of the MLBB competitive scene because they've mastered consistency in a game defined by constant change. Through disciplined macro play, elite talent development, and unmatched adaptability, ONIC has built a legacy that spans regions and generations. They aren't just champions, they're a blueprint for long-term success in esports, proving that true dominance is earned, not borrowed. Now I want to hear from you. What's your favorite ONIC roster or moment of all time? The first MPL title, the M6 championship run, or a specific clutch play you'll never forget? Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Mobile Legends News for our next deep dive into another top MLBB team or esports powerhouse. Till next time.